For all the Inventor users out there, when we want to do some renders, sometimes the Inventor renderer isn't kind of what we want. So what you might not be aware of is that in your manufacturing, so your product design and manufacturing collections, you have got 3ds Max. Now 3ds Max is one of the best rendering sort of platforms out there, and it's also a very, very powerful modeler as well. But seeing that you are an Inventor user, we'd like to do most of our modeling in Inventor, and then to get sort of better rendering out, we'd like to use Inventor, but it just doesn't have that certain je ne sais quoi that we've kind of come to know and love out of something made like Showcase. So today what I'm going to show you is just a little bit of how to create a turntable effect in 3ds Max. So, and it's actually quite easy. So the first of all, when you've imported your Inventor model over here, so I've just kind of brought this in over here, and I've just pre-made up, just sort of tweaked a couple of parts and just dragged it out over there. But this video is essentially about how to create the camera so that it sort of turns around as you are, as you are looking at this object being exploded. Maybe you're doing a presentation view, for instance. Now, the first thing we're going to do is we need to create a camera. So on the right-hand side over here, you'll see there I've got create camera. So there's a cameras over there, and because we are using the Arnold renderer, which is the default renderer for sort of 3ds Max, we will use the Arnold over here. Actually, I'm not going to. I'm going to use the standard one. So I want it standard, but with this, I'm going to use a physical camera. And with the physical camera over here, I'm just going to click where I want the camera to be, and then drag it to where I want the target to be. And there's my camera. And in the left hand side of you see there, you'll see physical camera 001 and physical camera 001 target. Now if you want to move any of these, you select either or. So the target I'm happy with. The physical camera, you might want to move it up or down, so you select on the move, selected move button, and then just like as in Inventor, we've got our triad which we can move up and down and left and right or back and forth. Now if you want to take a look at how the camera is positioned over there, the top over here, you'll see there I've got my orthographic, and I select that. It brings down this drop down menu, and I can go to cameras, and there's my physical camera 1. Okay, so I select it and it'll take me to that view over there. So it's a nice quick way to just see what's going on. So I'm just going to say take it back to my top, zoom down, and let's just pan it around over there. Okay, so there is my camera. Now how do we sort of create a turntable effect? So you want the camera to sort of travel around the object while it's being pulled apart. So the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to go and create a just a circle. So I'm just going to go and take a look from the top view, and under my create you'll see there's standard primitives. Let's go to the shapes. Okay, so that was your 3D object. This is my 2D objects. There I've got line, circle, rectangle. So let's go to circle over here and go and create a circle about that far. Okay, so there's my circle over there. Now immediately after creating your circle, it's still selected, so I can go to my modify, and there you'll see my circle over there. So now if I go around, you can see there's my circle that I've got over there. And you can also go and rename this circle if you wanted to. So you can say camera path. Okay. So once that's done, we want this camera to sit on that circle over there so that it follows that circle. So what we do is you go to animation and you go to your constraints, just like in constraints with Inventor, and we can go to path constraint. Okay, it says pick the shape to constraint to. It's over there, and I've just made a little bit of a mistake there. I should have actually selected the camera first. Okay, so let's go again. I had that object selected, so let's go select my camera. Then we go to animation, we go to constraints, path constraint, and then you'll see there it's now asking, it's got that line coming out, the dash line. Where would you like to constrain this to? That over there. So you can see it's now jumped to that part over there. Now what we could do is let's go and just raise this a bit, because if I go to my camera view, you'll notice there my camera is just sitting down at the bottom over there. Okay. So what we can do is let's go and raise this. and select the circle and drag it up. So you can see that it drags the camera up so that it's kind of at an angle. Okay, I'm happy with that. Let's go to wireframe, default shading, and let's go to orthographic. Let's go to physical camera. There we go. So now let's take a look at what happens. So as I am moving it around, so it constrains itself to my animation. Okay, so I'm not seeing all of it, especially when it comes up to over here. You'll see everything's a bit out of focus. So what I can do is let's go back to, say, my top view, and let's just go make this a little bit bigger. So we go to our modify, parameters. There's my radius is 13. Let's go make it 30, and let's try that again. So we go to our camera view, physical camera. Okay, I'd probably maybe move it up a bit. I want a bit of a more of an angle, but as you can see there, we can now see everything in view as we explode it and go around. So that is a very quick and easy way on how to start creating a turntable effect with your cameras in 3ds Max. Thanks very much for watching.